Good morning. I'd like to welcome those in the chamber as well as those listening online to our Tuesday, the 10th day of November, 2020, Weber County Board of Commissioners meeting. We're currently in the commission chambers. And with me, I'm Commissioner Gage Froer. With me to my left is Commissioner Scott Jenkins. To my right is Commissioner Jim Harvey. We're going to start today's meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance given by our Ashley Tolman. I will give the invocation, and thought of the day will be Commissioner Jenkins, and then we'll go to public comments after that. So, Ashley, please come forward.
Good morning. Please rise if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you, Ashley. Father in heaven, as we come before you on this magnificent day you've given us, we give you thanks for all your blessings, and especially those blessings of freedoms and the right to choose those that lead and inspire us in all areas of our lives. Father, we give thanks for the right of self-determination and the ability to live our lives in a manner that will benefit all those around us. We give thanks for this country and for the freedoms and opportunities we all enjoy as citizens. We ask for your strength to find the way, even through suffering and stress, and those in need, please give them your strength to lift their spirits through these difficult times. We ask for your blessings to ensure that the decisions made today are made with your guidance and inspiration. We ask for a special blessing, if we might, on all veterans that have served and continue to serve this country. Please look over them, protect them in these uncertain times. Father, finally, we ask for your guidance so that we as citizens may all work together for a better future, knowing that we are all friends and neighbors. Help us treat each other in a kind and respectable manner. We say this prayer in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Let's now go to public comments, if we might.
Hold on. Don't I get my thought of the day?
Oh, sorry. You've got your thought of the day.
Thank you. I want to make sure I get a chance to say that.
No.
You know, Veterans Day
Veterans Day coming up.
is coming up in the next few days. Tomorrow. And I've never had Veterans Day off. That's something that has only happened to me since I've been here. So it's something that's on my mind occasionally now. And it's interesting to be able to do that. So I served 7 years in the National Guard. So by the standards of the nation, I'm not a veteran. But by the standards of the state of Utah, I am a veteran. So I do get to salute the flag if I want to, and I get to do a few of those things. But anyway, being in that envelope in between and being able to deal with that, it gives me a chance to think about that all the time. You know, my father was a veteran. I had uncles that were veterans. And those guys put a lot of time and effort, and they devote their lives for a certain period of time. And Veterans Day is a big deal. The fact that we get a chance to salute and honor our veterans and their service, I'm really excited about that. And so I wanted to make sure I talked a little bit about Veterans Day. Second thing I wanted to bring up this morning is the fact that we just hit a milestone, kind of, in our county. We finished laying the asphalt on that next portion of 12th Street. Now, we've got a little bit of tidy up and some driveways to connect to, and we've got striping to do on it. But other than that, for all intents, you can drive down 12th Street now, and it's done to 70, whatever, 100 West it is. And, you know, to our citizens out on West 12th, they've had it. I've got a daughter that lives out there, and they are so tired of the construction. It's been going on for years, and frankly, we got a little piece yet to do. But they get a break here for a year or so now, and they're anxious to have that break because it's been tough on them. So I just wanted to inform you that that has just happened too, and that's kind of a big deal.
It's a big deal.
You bet. Okay, Commissioner, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for those remarks. All right, now let's go to public comments. Let's go first. Anybody in the chamber that would like to come forward and give their remarks? We're going to ask you to please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And please introduce yourself.
Hello.
Sir.
I won't use my military service. I'm a father, I'm a citizen, and I'm sick of this.
Hold on a second. Did you state your name?
No, I do not want to state my name. Will I be needed to leave if I don't state my name, sir?
No, go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is to the people of Weber County. I'm looking at you. This is to the people of Ogden. This is to the people of Utah and us as a world. I testify under oath that every one of these people in front of me, Jim Harvey, Gage Fourier, is that how you say, sir? Scott K. Jenkins, who is a veteran, at least of the state of Utah. Thank you very much for your service, sir. Okay. And none of these men had their mask on in this whole room. This is something called political theater. And I apologize for being very mad. I moved from California to Utah, and we're putting up with this? I am disappointed in you, Mr. Jim Harvey. I don't know what's happening on your side, but I wish I could. If police officers have to wear body cameras, politicians should be wearing them too. Maybe people can see that you guys didn't have your mask on and see what political theater is. And I would like to thank this deputy here for upholding and defending the Constitution of the United States of America. I would also like to thank the police officers of Ogden, Utah, who support and defend the Constitution. I am very disappointed. Thank you for not arresting me for not having my mask on at the same time that these gentlemen did not have theirs. Thank you very much, Deputy. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, because there's good people here. And when bad things go bad, it's because good people stood by. I am disappointed, I am angry, but I am a peaceful man. We want peace in this nation. You need to uphold the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. SARS-CoV-1, none of this happened. SARS-CoV-2, it happened, right? I've sent emails and called the library. Will I need a vaccine to enter the library in a couple of years? Never got back to me. I don't know. Maybe they were avoiding me. Maybe they're not. Maybe is it the Rockefeller Foundation and all the money from the state of Utah that trickles down to the county? I don't know. But what I know in my short 35 years of life is that this is wrong. And it's up to you, and mostly everybody else here and law enforcement to stand up to what's wrong. I am mostly sad. It breaks my heart. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir, for being with us. Anybody else like to come forward, or do we have anybody on Zoom, Shelley?
Thank you, Commissioners. I just wanted to remind everybody in the county that we have our food drive going on, and there are boxes around the building. If you want a box, we will get one to you. And then I also want to say thank you for following the mandate. My husband has asthma. I want him to live, so I appreciate that you do as the governor asks. Thank you.
Thanks, Shelley. Okay, I'm assuming that there's nobody online, Shelley?
No.
Any questions? Anybody else from the audience? Okay, I'm going to close public comments. Again, thank you for those that participated this morning. Let's go to our consent items, Commissioners. Agenda items F1 through 6. F1, request for approval of warrants 3232 through 3250 and 454, 415, 454, 558 in the amount of $7,694,115.45. 2, request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $550,659.30. 3, request for approval of minutes for the meeting held on November 3, 2020. 4, request for approval of ACH payment to U.S. Bank in the amount of $552.16. 5, the regular meeting of the County Commission of Weber County scheduled for November 17th, 2020 has been canceled. That's a week from today. And 6, request for approval of policy 4.4, subrecipient monitoring. That's the consent items. Commissioners, let's go to Ricky for explanation, then we'll come back for comments.
You bet. Thank you, Commissioners. We issued 14 purchase orders this week for the amount of $551,000. Just under half that amount, or $265,000, is for Culture Parks and Rec, and this relates to a touchless conversion at various facilities throughout the county. 33%, or $181,000, is for emergency medical supplies, as well as some IT infrastructure for the sheriff's training room. And then 13%, or $71,000, is for the jail, and that is to replace access control equipment. As far as checks, we issued 165 checks for $7.7 million, an unusually high check run this week. 90% of that amount is 6.9.
Good. Hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up.
90% of that amount, or $6.9 million, is CARES Act disbursement for our schools, education, as well as to Ogden City. And that was the bulk of the check run.
Thank you. Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Questions for Mr. Hatch?
I have one.
Go ahead.
So, Ricky, I was listening to see if I could determine in your presentation where this was. The very first item on there was WS Acquisitions LLC, and it's for $182,000, but it doesn't. There's nothing in there that I can identify that with. Can you help me with that?
You're talking in the check run?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I remembered who that was. Let's see.
Everything else I could recognize, but that and I can't.
Hold on 1 second. I'll pull it up. This is for the surge tent capacity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Scott?
Oh, that's it.
Commissioner Harvey, questions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I know that November 17th, the commission meeting's been canceled, but I would like to just bring to point that at that same time that we would normally hold a commission meeting, at 10 o'clock, we'll probably do or it's scheduled to do our canvass, our voting canvass, and so we will have another meeting at 10 o'clock on the 17th, but it's a canvass meeting, not a commission meeting. I don't know if Mr. Hatch has any more comment on that or not.
If I may, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Yes, State of Utah requires a 2-week canvass period. That gives election officials a chance to research provisional ballots that were cast before Election Day but for some reason haven't been received until after Election Day or require additional research. This has been in place for years and actually probably decades. And it's going on throughout the country where valid votes are being vetted and researched to ensure that they are properly counted or not, depending on what the research shows. So yes, this canvass will take place 2 weeks after Election Day, and then the state will officially canvass statewide 1 week after that. And just appreciate the laws and the processes that are in place to help ensure that the election, that everybody whose vote should be counted is. And there's, Election Day was third quarter for election officials throughout the country. The fourth quarter that's where we are right now. We're doing all of our analysis and research and following and completing the process. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I believe that the canvass will take place a week from today at the same time. Commissioner Jenkins and I will be attending via Zoom, so Commissioner Harvey will be chairing that meeting. Additional questions for Ricky regarding the consent items?
I do have a question regarding the canvas.
Go ahead.
So is that not movable back or forward?
It can be moved forward, but it cannot be extended. So it's 14 days after the election. I suspect that the LG's office may have some authority to extend if there were some extenuating circumstances.
So do you have the ability to move that up?
Yes. The challenge is getting all the work done before the canvass. And we had over 2,000 provisional ballots, which have to be addressed one by one with a really, a fairly in-depth research for each person. So we're probably about a quarter of the way through. We still have some work to do.
So to move it up 3 or 4 days would really be hard.
That would really put a strain on our elections office.
The only reason I question that is because I know that Commissioner Harvey's actually considering joining us. And if that in fact happened, we'd all be gone.
Well, if I do, then it'll be Wednesday morning that I leave. Yeah, so I can.
Oh, so you would be here for that day?
I would be here. I've got meetings on Tuesday night as well, some other things here, so.
Yeah, we've had that discussion. Commissioner Harvey said he would be.
I didn't know that.
And Commissioners, just so you're aware, state statute also allows if situations like that happen where some cannot attend, there is others that can be appointed in, the treasurer, the assessor, and the sheriff to sit in the place of a county commissioner that cannot attend.
Yeah. So we have some options, Commissioner Jenkins.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay. I still don't believe I've had a motion. So.
Oh, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
With what we've learned there, I'll make the motion that we approve consent items, which is F on our agenda today, items 1 through and including number 6.
Thank you. We have a motion.
I'll second that.
And we have a second by Commissioner Jenkins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Consent items F1 through 6 have been approved. Let's go to action items. Let's start with G1, consideration for adoption of a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of not more than 14 million aggregate principal amount of federally taxable, convertible to tax-exempt special assessment refunding bonds. That's a Summit Mountain assessment area that we're talking about, Series 2020, and those related matters. Mr. John Bond, can you explain to us what this is about?
Yes. During the past 2 months, we've been here frequently to bring to you items as far as bonding here in the county. And a new assessment bond item that we are bringing to you for the first time is a resolution to have you give us permission to move forward with examining whether to refinance, or refund as we call it, the assessment bonds at Summit Mountain. And the commissioners back in 2013 signed paperwork that set that assessment bond up. And we've got favorable circumstances in the market that we can take advantage of lesser interest rate potentially. The forecast that we've got right now is if we proceed in today's market, we could see savings of upwards of $1.3 million in interest. And so if we refinance or refund those assessment bonds, the only thing that materially changes in going out to the market and getting that refinanced is that we would shorten the term of that bond. Forecasted right now that $1.3 million in savings and interest would shorten the bond term almost a year. And so that is very favorable to us as we look at it in our office, Ricky's office, the attorney's office. We've discussed this, and we'd like your consideration in moving forward with the preparation to examine how that would turn out if we went out to market to refund that.
Thank you. Questions, commissioners? This deals with the Summit bond that we're all had discussions previously on. So,
once again, this is good management by the county. This doesn't really affect us directly. It's more indirectly because we stand behind Summit. But I don't care if it doesn't. Summit are good corporate citizens of the county, and we want to do everything we can to help them. And this is doing that. And so I'm very supportive of that, and I thank you, John, for doing it. You're a good man, and I appreciate you. And this is good for Summit County, or for, not Summit County, for Summit Corporation.
Corporation, Weber County. Okay, Commissioner Harvey, any questions?
But I'll just attest to what the words that Commissioner Jenkins said, especially about you, Treasurer Bond. John's been able to be refreshing as he's been able to tell the whole story from the very beginning of this that goes on for nearly a decade now, and we're really lucky as a county to have you. This is a good move, and so when you're ready, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to make a...
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion that we adopt resolution number 40 for the issuance and the sale of not more than $14 million aggregate principal amount of federal taxable, convertible of taxable exempt special assessment refund bonds.
Okay, we have a motion.
Very happy to second that.
And we have a second. Before I place the motion, again, congratulations, John. It's another opportunity, and I don't think there's any question, I'm on record, that I was never in favor of this bond from day one. But in my opinion, Commissioners, this does, by reducing this by 1 year, it does help, in fact, the county. Even though I don't believe there's the risk inherently involved with this today as there was a few years back. This is a move in the right direction. It's a good business decision, and to reduce the payback period by 1 year, in fact, does help the county as well. So it reduces risk. With that, I'm going to place the motion. All those in favor?
The resolution, roll call. Commissioner Jenkins?
So this is resolution 40?
40.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Chair Faure?
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution 40 is approved. Let's go to request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Orman Construction for the Bybee Drive Improvement Project. Ashley Tolman, you're back up. Mr. Bond, thanks again very much.
If I could thank Ricky's office and Chris's office, a lot of work. And we also had, I apologize, we had online our bond counsel and our financial advisor, and I think we've covered everything, but I want to tell them thank you for their assistance.
They've done an excellent job as well. Is this the last bond that we expect to deal with this year?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
And when we get to the end of this, it'll be interesting to see total up our total savings, which I believe will be substantial.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ashley.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Before you, for your consideration, we have a contract between Weber County and Orman Construction to perform construction work on Bybee Drive to improve the drainage there, and it also includes some work along Combee. There was an agreement between us and Mark Burton to have some drainage improvements made there.
Okay. Questions, Commissioners? I think we're all familiar with this project. We've been up there. So
we've done site visits and everything, and this will be a welcome. This is the responsible thing to do after quite some time. Thank you, Ashley.
Give us the total amount of the contract. You have that handy?
Amount is $78,680.80.
Thank you for that. Commissioners, questions, comment? If not, I'm ready for a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve the contract between Weber County and Orman Construction for the improvements on Bybee Drive.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Votes aye, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Let's go now to request for approval of a $9,600 donation of impact fees to the Trails Foundation of Northern Utah for a concept report and basic engineering on the Eden to Liberty Trail construction, which would be Snowcrest to Liberty Park. Mr. Sean Wilkinson.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In the earlier this year, you've seen several requests from Trails Foundation of Northern Utah for Prop 1 funds. Those were for existing trails and maintenance on those trails. This request is for impact fees because this connection would be a new trail connection, and impact fees can be used for this study on the extension of a trail from Eden to Liberty, so essentially from Snowcrest Junior High to Liberty Park. So this project will consist of hiring an engineering firm to provide a concept report and basic design services for that new trail section.
Thank you. Does that conclude your presentation, Sean?
Yes, that's all I have.
So this is just the basically concept design work, not the
actual construction yet.
Construction.
Correct. That will come later next year after this work is done.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Questions, commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion that we approve these impact fees for Trails Foundation Northern Utah.
Thank you. I have a motion.
And I'll second it with a comment.
Go ahead.
You know, I'm excited to see these sidewalks and trails and different things continue to be built. I became a fairly heavy user of them the last few years, and it's really good what we're doing here. And so I highly support it and second it.
Thank you. No other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being with us. Seeing no further action items, that brings us to commissioner comments. Commissioners, final comments. None?
Not much to be said today. Okay. We're doing good work.
Well, I just wanted to say one word, which would be to give thanks to Mr. Hatch, his elections office. That was really a interesting period of time that we just went through for the election. Some other parts of the country are still going through it. Thank goodness we're not. A lot to the efforts of Mr. Hatch and his group that brought us through in such a professional, timely manner. Quite honestly, Ricky, I didn't have one person that called me that had anything negative to say about the process, which again goes to your leadership in making sure that that process was in fact a professional, legal, no transparency that was not seen by no hidden transparency that couldn't be looked at by the members of the public to see how great a job you were doing. So I just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you. Our team is best in the nation. Ryan Cowley, Daniel Wade, Megan Fitzpatrick, and Stacy Cornell, plus a host of seasonal help that really stepped forward, and a lot of county departments and employees that came down multiple days and also helped out in person on election day. Just tremendous coordination among various counties, or various county departments.
And I understand this was a record turnout for Weber County?
Yes, I suspect when all is said and done, we'll be at 89%.
Wow. So,
tell them, Ricky, how many people that means?
It'll be almost 111,000, maybe even more than that, out of 126,000 registered voters.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic turnout. We love it when the people come forward and make their voices heard. That's great.
Yeah, it was great. It's just great to see the people get involved. Commissioner Harvey.
How many people did we have 4 years ago at that presidential election, Ricky?
4 years ago, we had record-breaking turnout with 85,500 ballots cast, which represented 82%.
And we're at 89?
We're now at 89.
That's a substantial increase in number as well.
Big numbers. Commissioner Harvey.
No more. I'll just congratulate those who put their name on the ballot. You know, most people that I saw on the ballot were people who had regular jobs, regular professions, and they decided to serve in a way that to give back. And it's refreshing that we can have some just some different backgrounds represent us. Super happy with what's gone on. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I would like to make sure that those people that ran for public office, those that were successful, congratulations. For those people that ran that were unsuccessful, again, I would just like to tell them thanks. Again, it takes a lot of effort, takes guts to put your name out in the public and give the public the opportunity to make a choice. And that's what we're about here in America. So it was great to see. It was great to see that election come off without, in my opinion, without a hitch. So thanks again, Ricky. With that, commissioners, I would entertain a final motion.
So one little comment first.
Go ahead.
You know, you just mentioned those who lost. People don't understand.
I appreciate that. I'm not sure you've ever lost an election, though.
I have. Not a big election, but I lost the most important election of my life.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm going to give you a pass on that. I've also lost an election, so I can relate to your remarks as well.
Sorry, you bet.
Yeah, I remember the election you're talking about. Okay. All right. All right. With that, I'd entertain a final motion, Commissioners.
So move.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.